Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN Wing Nation Weekend, brought to you by Hefner Racing Products, and we are setting you up for the big race weekend. And yeah, we've got a dandy. Listen to this one now. Oh, wait a minute. Before we get started with that, Ashley Stremme's alongside. Steve Post, Ashley, how are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Filling in for Aaron Evernham,
Yes,
who
it's
is,
always a
yes, exactly.
treat to be able
yes,
to join.
Great. And you can catch Ashley on our program on MAV TV every Saturday morning. So great to be hanging out this midweek with Ashley as well. And we're going to hang out with Danny Dietrich on this time.
Yes,
so
we are.
Batten down the hatches.
It's true.
The
it's true.
wild and wacky world
You
of Danny
never know
Dietrich.
what you'll get into.
You don't know what you're
It's like
getting, but
a box of chocolates.
yes, like a box of chocolates, exactly, something like that. Although sometimes we don't. It's more salty than sweet. How about that? There we go. Yes. Oh, there you have
Like
it.
a
So
maple bacon cupcake.
yes, something like that. Oh, Danny Dietrich maple bacon cupcake. Yep, right off the start. Here we go. So we've ran this thing right into the bridge abutment, and we haven't even got started. I haven't even told you that we've got a posse double coming up this
That's
weekend.
right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Not one, but 2 races in one day, okay?
right.
We have got a World of Outlaw triple coming up. Yes, indeed. King of the West Series, they're wrapping up a tremendous point battle championship. They've got 2 races left. One of them is this weekend. And big shows. Lots of cars at Sealands Grove and lots of cars at Lernerville. So it's going to be a great show. We'll tell you all about those, and we will talk to Danny Dietrich next.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Built in the USA, HRP is the manufacturer of the original recessed rivet wing, including their premier Shark Wing series, as well as the new Racer Series Sprint Car Wing. Hefner Racing Products wings are available for sprint cars, mini and micro sprints, winged outlaw karts, and junior sprints. HRP is the leader in mule conversions, manufactures and sells a full line of sprint car components, including Nerf bars and bumpers, front axles, precision laser cut chassis building tabs, brackets, tubes, and spuds. HRP has the absolute largest selection of trailer and shop accessories available to sprint car racers. When it comes to setting up your trailer or shop, HRP is the choice for the best in trailer and shop storage and organization accessories. Hefner Racing Products. Visit them and shop online at hrpracing.com. Now back to the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, presented by Hefner Racing Products.
Thanks for joining us. It is MRN's Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Products. Find out more from our friends at www.hrpracing.com. Joining us on the hotline, ready to go not once but twice on Saturday this weekend, is Danny Dietrich. Hello, Danny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. No complaints. You're getting ready for a big weekend coming up and ready to get after it again.
Yeah. Danny, I've watched the results here. You're never outside of the top 5 lately. You're getting a win or 2 here or there, but how are you feeling about your program at this point in the season? How has it been going over the last month or 2?
Well, last 2 months here we've struggled ever since we crashed at Lincoln in July, and we left to go on the road for a couple of weeks. But it's coming back around. We're getting racing. We're not getting rained down. I feel good going into the weekend. We got a new car, another new car we're going to try out. And, I just we've had a good year. Just need to finish off strong.
Danny, when you go into these doubleheader weekends, obviously it doesn't happen often. It happens at the beginning of the year and now here at the end of the season. How do you prepare for that? Do you go with a setup ready to go for Lincoln and then you get to the racetrack and try to change it for Susquehanna or BAPS, I guess it is now? Or do you just kind of go middle of the road and adjust as you get there?
We go with the Lincoln setup, and then we'll go to Susquehanna and hope we have time to change it. If not, we'll just wing it, But we're going to go prepared for the first race, and then we'll assess the situation when that show is completed.
Now, the logistics of this one looks like it's a little bit simpler than the earlier one because I think Lincoln, you don't have nearly as far to go, and I believe BAP starts a little bit later than Port usually does in the spring. But have you done the map questing and got your route all planned and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of people hightailing it. We got about a 40-minute, 35-minute drive to Susky, which is about an hour shorter than Lincoln to Port Royal. So it's an exciting day. I get excited for these days here because you got fans that go to Lincoln and then they look forward to just spending the whole day racing. They'll go to Susky or Baps there in the evening, and they really do get excited to do all this racing in one day. It might cost a little bit more money, but seeing two different races at two different racetracks is usually well worth it for the fans.
It's so true. It's always fun following along on Twitter, watching our fans going, oh, we're doing the double, and they're passing haulers and taking pictures of it. And I might actually get to partake in the double myself this weekend.
You didn't
That's
tell
right.
me that.
I didn't. It was a surprise. But anyhow.
You dirty dog. I can't
know.
believe you. And I'm not going with
I'll
you.
be sure to tweet my seat.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Jeez. All the fun.
Indeed. But Danny, we talk about the fan side of things, and that's extremely important. But I want you to talk about it from a racer standpoint. Having the chance to actually compete for two purses that same day, what is that like, and how much does it mean to you as a racer?
The purse is good, racing for two of them in the same day, but it just means a lot that the tracks support you enough to put two of them and know that you're going to be showing up for them. I think if they realized that we didn't support them or they didn't want to support us, one of them would have just canceled instead of just moving them from one time to the other. I think there's a lot of teams that question what they do, but ultimately, it is what it is, and unfortunately, sometimes two races get booked on the same day. Two races are kind of special races in a sense, but everybody will make the most of it, I'm sure, and hopefully we get all the support we can get, and people don't get afraid to do it again next year.
Well, and one of the problems that you've had, along with everyone in the country, is the rain. And that's been the thing, and that's what's really put us in this spot. We could talk about it all we want, but everyone needs to get X number of races in, and all of a sudden you're looking at Saturday in the month of October, and this track needs to get a race in, and that track does, and we can't go any later because this track's running along the way. So it's kind of like a credit to these tracks that they're trying to get you some races after what's been a terrible season as far as weather goes.
Yeah, and fans and other people don't realize, these tracks only got, 20 to 30 nights a whole year, to make their living or make their profit. And, that's not that many nights. You think 365 days a year, and you're down to 30 nights of racing, or less. They got to get them in where they can. And I don't blame them for racing as much as they can at times, when they have a season like they did this year.
It is true. It's very true. And I want to skip ahead a few weeks. Speaking of rain, the Tuscarora 50 now partnered up with the World of Outlaws. What do you think of that? What are your thoughts on that? And, making the Tuscarora 50, which is such a large event to begin with, and now pairing it with the World of Outlaws?
Well, I like the idea that you got the Outlaw following there, but, I feel bad for the All-Stars. It's a great group of people, and, a little better odds, I think, for myself, racing against the All-Stars than the Outlaws. They just seem to always bring a little more speed. But, I'm not going to complain. We're getting a chance to race for $51,000, and for anybody complaining about them moving it to an Outlaw show, hey, at least we have the opportunity. It's better than not.
Yeah, one of the options was to cancel it.
Yes.
And they didn't do that, and getting a chance to run for that paycheck. Danny, before we cut you loose here, how are things in Pennsylvania? I know it's been a rough month here along the way, and getting back to racing I know has been good for everybody, but overall, how are things up there? Are you keeping everyone in line up there, and is everything decent?
Trying to. It's almost impossible in Pennsylvania, but the thing is just heating up. It's the end of the season, and that's the time to make things the most exciting so people have something to talk about every wintertime.
There you go.
Danny, will we be seeing you in a couple weeks down here in Charlotte?
I don't think so. As of right now, the plans are not to come down. We're going to run a new car here this weekend. It's a taller cage car, and we kind of want to finish the season. Hopefully we can finish it in one piece and set ourselves up for the beginning of next year. We're doing a little rebuilding a couple weeks early, really. Build a new car and planning on not having to take it apart over the wintertime. So we get through the season up here. I'm I'm kind of traveled out a little bit, and we've struggled a little bit here the last couple months. So if we weren't struggling and we weren't traveling so much, it'd probably be a different story. But I think we're just going to stay a little low key here at the end of the year, and possibly the same for next year. We might do some Ohio and some New York stuff, but that might be about it.
All right, so I had the final question, and then Ashley said she had a final question,
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
now I got a final question again. I got another one. What you said, taller cage cars. How is that development coming along? I know you experimented with it about a year and a half ago, and it really wasn't to your liking. What were we at now with it? What's different now? What gives you a sense of optimism as we work through this again?
We have a little bit newer of a different design in the cage. We were at the time 2 years ago. I was trying to do something with the degree of the seat. I was going to try and do a 15-degree seat, try and lay myself down in the car a little bit and be a little safer. So the A-frame was built a little different. This one here is just standard, just like a normal car. It's just we built the cage 2 inches taller from front to rear. And it should ultimately just be a safer car. It's got the new bars on it that the Outlaws are requiring for next year. And I hope all the adjustments we made from the previous taller car to this one are just worth it, and we have better luck with it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. I'm glad, and I know you're working with the guys you're working with there. Everyone's got that in mind, making sure we keep you guys safe out there on the racetrack. Danny, as always, a pleasure. We'll be following along on Saturday. Can't wait to see the double, and we appreciate the time joining us here today.
No problem. Thanks for having me on the show.
There we go. That's Danny Dietrich. I love. I enjoyed the fact that they were working on the higher cage. I know we talked to Danny, we talked to Dale Blaney a couple of years ago, but you also understand that alters everything on the race car, and you realize this is a performance-based sport. So at what time do you say, okay, we need to do this, but we don't need to do it now,
right?
Because I need to get back to winning races. This is a really good time to be doing this, especially with the rule change, and that this car is 2019 outlaw bar. Man, I'll tell you what, it's neat to hear that Danny's being very, very progressive and ahead of the curve doing that.
Indeed, and from a builder's perspective,
yeah, that's right, exactly.
It's hard to just make a car obsolete, especially when you have your local Saturday night racers
Right,
who
absolutely.
count on these World of Outlaw guys and these upper tier guys to buy their cars from to continue to race each and every week. It's hard to just implement a huge change like this, but it is what is needed to be done, and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, love it. Danny's been one of the guys that's always been very proactive with all of this stuff, and never shy about having conversation about it. And sometimes people get all twisted up about Danny having conversations about it. Conversations about these things are sometimes what leads to solutions of these things. And here we are back again trying that taller cage, and I'm so glad to see that. I just with these bigger guys, I think about these bigger guys in these cars. And what we need to do just to make sure that 2 inches is a significant difference on these cars. So great stuff along the way. So that is this weekend. It is the Pennsylvania Double. It's going to start Saturday afternoon at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway.
That's right.
Then 40, 50 minutes, what do you say, 40 minutes? 40,
Yeah.
45 minutes? Right up the road to Babs Motor Speedway in Newberrytown for the nightcap.
Indeed.
And you said you may be going?
We might. I'm a Port Royal Speedway girl.
No, I understand that, but I understand
And it's
that.
modifieds. It's big blocks and small blocks
That's
at Port
right,
Royal
at Port
Speedway
Royal,
this
yes.
weekend. And we're going up, and David wants to go watch them, but my first love will always be sprint cars. So he might be at Port Royal Speedway. I might be doing the double. Or maybe
no,
he'll be
you're
doing
not.
the double too. He'll just be
No,
headed to
you're
Port
not.
Royal instead.
I mean, that's just not even right. I mean, and don't even send me a text to warn me. Just
Okay.
lay it on me right here with
I
the
will-
shock.
I
on the
didn't
air.
really think about it until we were halfway through the show.
Okay, so the
Sorry.
Pennsylvania Double. So we want everyone to tweet your seat and show along. And
I'll help you out.
As Ashley's passing you on the highway, she'll tweet her seat too. So we talk about the double in Pennsylvania. World of Outlaws, yeah, they're going with a triple this weekend. Okay, Friday night, Jacksonville, Illinois. Man, this is just like the greatest little bull ring on the planet. I mean, this little track could fit in this studio. It seems like,
small, yes.
Jacksonville, Illinois. Saturday, the Wabash Clash at the Terre Haute Action Track.
That's right.
Love the Terre Haute Action Track. Never been there.
What?
but it was the one that I saw on ABC's Wide World of Sports when Dick Tobias won the Holman Classic. I think it was the Holman Classic, one of the big races there. It was the one, probably the first sprint car race I ever saw was on Wide World of Sports, where they show it in between Acapulco cliff diving and women's badminton championships.
Dating yourself.
Yes, well, exactly, yes. Yes, the Wide World of Sports, yes. And then Sunday, it is the hashtag last call for them all at Eldora. They've got the big World 100 on the weekend, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, they're just like, well, Roger Slack didn't want to put the padlocks out on Saturday night. So he said, well, let's just bring the World of Outlaws in for another night.
There you go.
So they're doing that Saturday night. Okay. King of the West Series. They're at Keller Auto Speedway in Hanford, California, the Cotton Classic on Saturday night. And this one, the point battle is phenomenal. We got a couple guys going at it for the point battle. Kyle Hurst had a fairly good lead, but he wadded one up big. Oh my gosh, did he really crash? I saw a video of it. And Shane Golobic had a great run and won the race, and now they're really, really close on the points. So they've got this one and then one coming up later on this year. So they've got two more to go here. Now these two, we talked to Richie Tobias last year on the program, okay? Selinsgrove Speedway, World Series of Dirt Racing, okay? Half-mile track and the quarter-mile track. They're going to have AMA motorcycles. They're going to have every kind of race car known to mankind on there. 360s on Saturday, 410s on Sunday. So you've got 410s, 2 races on Saturday and a 410 race at Selinsgrove Sunday. So a triple header weekend up there, okay? And he's got like 17 divisions or something. I forget what it is.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, no, it's every car that's ever been built is they're going to race there, and motorcycles. And
Love it.
And they're going to run during the day on the half mile and at night on that little quarter mile track on the inside. So that's great. Now, Lernerville has their Steel City Stampede, okay? Now all the cars that are not at Selinsgrove are going to be at Lernerville. Okay, they've got 410 sprints, 305 sprints, plus 12 other divisions.
That's awesome.
I know, it's fantastic.
I feel like it's almost like a run what you brung.
Yeah,
just come on.
If you don't get your snoot full of racing here, you just need to give it up. I mean, they're sending you into the off season by saying, okay, we know you got to go a couple months without racing, so we're just going to show you everything here. So what they do at Lernerville is Friday they run all the heat races, and Saturday is a main only program. And I love that Steel City Stampede, and I've said it before, Lernerville is got to be on the bucket list. I got to hit Lernerville probably next year.
Never been to Lernerville?
Never been to Lernerville.
Steve.
No, I know. Never been to Lernerville. Exactly. Got to get there, that's for sure. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, they're off. They will be at Devil's Bowl next weekend. Regional racing action, there's a race in the Southwest region at Canyon Speedway Park in Peoria, Arizona. And Gulf South has a race on Saturday night at Golden Triangle Raceway in Beaumont, Texas. So good stuff for the regions out there for the ASCS Tour. A couple of upcoming things we need to share with you, okay? Wednesday, the 31st of October. It is the Wednesday of the World, what's it?
Short track?
No.
The World Finals?
Yeah, the World Finals. Why was I having trouble with that? The World Finals, okay. Keith Coon's Give Back Classic pre-race show at Millbridge Speedway. It's on Wednesday afternoon, presented by Rip the Fence and Wing Nation. Rip the Fence is our traditional show that Tyler Burnett and Dylan Welch do. So Dylan had something else going on. So Tyler and yours truly is going to be there, and we're going to have fun. We're going to talk to all the people up at Millbridge Speedway getting ready for that big race. On Friday, November 2nd, the Wing Nation at the World's Finals, that's you and I the Pavilion. It's part of a fan appreciation event.
It's always a good time.
That's always a great time, so we'll do that. And also we want to remind you and let you know that ongoing now from here on out through the next couple of months, we have a special video series that's on our Facebook page and our wingnation.com page titled Wing Nation Presents. And then we fill in the topic. This one here, it's not like we didn't get enough Danny today, is more with Danny Dietrich, a little bit more in depth with Danny. But we have got everything from Aaron sitting down with other drivers. You're sitting down with different people along the way, wives and girlfriends. I actually sat with some announcers. We got profiles on drivers. We've got all kinds of neat things from some of our travels this year.
Yeah, we're going to give it to you full force and a little bit of everything that you don't typically get to see.
Yes, so Wing Nation presents.
That's right.
And each week it's going to be presenting something else. So So you can follow along with that on our Facebook page and at wingnation.com. And again, wingnation.com, we remind you that our broadcast calendar is there. So if you're looking for some racing, if your local track's not running and you're looking for some racing, our friends at Dirt Vision are still going strong with the World of Outlaws, and all of our other pals are still doing some races as well. So you can check that out at wingnation.com. Need to remind you, for all your racing parts, whether they be for karting or stock cars or modifieds or late models, check them out at www.Hefner Racing Products. That's hrpracing.com or Hefner Racing Products. You can check them out for all your racing needs. Great, great people, just a bunch of racers. And finally, on Saturday, you and I, we got a chance to talk with Bud Kading. And so he joins us on MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. So you can join us there on Saturday. Big week of
This
fun
has
stuff.
been the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, brought to you by Hefner Racing Products. The Wing Nation Weekend Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.